Lushious Massacr recently went live. On her live, she indirectly confirmed everything that I had shown you in my previous videos. From beginning to the end, she verified the fact that she had fallen off, the fact that she was still depressed, the fact that she was still in a place in her life that she did not feel comfortable being and wanted to change. Holding herself accountable is something that Lushious has always had difficulty doing, being a broken record over and over. And as most of you claim that I do in my videos, and by most of you, I am talking about you in the comment section, mainly Ladybug from Nantucket, Idaho. Or what about Dennison52 from Darbyville, Kentucky? I'm talking to you.
Shout out to Miss Dennison52. I talked about how, I just want to get back to that old self, that I was, the doll that believed in herself more than anybody else. And I feel like recently, in the last couple of years, I don't know, you go through trauma, you go through things in life, and I feel like the tables turned. And I got to a point where I felt like people believed in me more than I believed in myself. And I wasn't really putting in the work, and you get to a point where you have to just put in the work. I forgot what I was capable of. I forgot what the human body can do. Like, literally, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, I used to be one of those people that she could just go, and she could walk in like these, tall heels, and she could run around, and she could do all these things. And it just, watching the video, Divine sent it to me, and I'm sure Divine was like, it's not her, but I know Divine was probably like, baby, look at you, look how sickening you were. Look how sickening you looked. And I was like, when I saw the video, I was so shook and so triggered. And I was like, sis, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to who I was, that person that she could run around everywhere. She could perform the house down. Simply a person who could keep up, a woman, man, creature, whatever, that could keep up. Because I can't keep up anymore. I literally can't. I want to do drag, I want to perform, but I know that I'm so overweight. My body it's going to be hell on earth for me to be able to keep up, and for me to be able to do the things that my body's gonna require me to do,
The fact that Lushious Massacre has literally started over not once, not twice, hell, not 10, but rather time after time after time after time. Who knows if she will stick to her plans, because she keeps lying to her audience and lying to herself. No matter how hard she tried, she always let something block her from achieving her goals. Then pops on a live, complaining about it and talking about it and how she would fix it and never does.
I think last year, at the beginning of the year, I was on a diet, and I had lost 35 pounds. I was doing so fabulous. And then I just kind of I fell off and I gave up. And then the whole year I went through this thing where I was calling it intuitive eating. And it's, the reality is I was just not paying attention to what I was eating. Intuitive eating, they say you eat and you just, the thing with me is I can't do that because I'm an overeater. So I'm just gonna eat the house, and I'm gonna eat at the wrong times. I'm gonna binge eat, and I'm gonna eat the wrong foods. I'm somewhere along the line, I learned these really bad habits with food, and I eat a bunch of junk, and I eat a lot of junk, and I eat it at the worst times, and I binge, and I have horrible eating habits, and I have an overeating disorder, I feel like I'm a broken record, and I talk about this all the time, but this is just the reality of who I am and how I feel and what I'm going through, And today I just have to go day by day, I'm not going to be able to take on this thing where I lose 100 pounds in one day. It's not something that I can do from one day to the other. I have to be patient, and I can't let the overwhelming feeling of how big this is immediately break me down. And I feel like that's what happens to me. I go on these journeys and then I just like, it's so hard, I lose faith and I drop off.
Luscious understands what she needs to do and how to employ them in her everyday life. She explains how difficult it can be and knows that it won't happen in one day, which is a fact. But in order for her to be able to succeed in doing what she needs to do and better herself, she needs to believe what she says to herself and her audience and put her own words into action.
I can't do that. So I have to go day by day. Today, it was a win for the doll. Today it was a win for the disco doll. Today I woke up, went through my fridge, I cooked food. I cooked and I actually portionized. I portioned what I ate, okay? I served myself a little bit of chicken and a little bit of rice, but the rice, it was a brown rice. It had carrots, it had edamame, it had all these things that were healthy that I normally would never eat in my diet myself. And I had like these small portions and then that's all I ate. I'm about to eat again in a bit, but I'm gonna make myself something again. I have grilled chicken in my fridge and I have broccoli. So I'm gonna cook some broccoli and I'm gonna cook some chicken and I'm gonna portionize myself and that's what I'm gonna eat right now after this live. So I'm going to try, I'm really gonna push myself to cook my own food, learn how to cook more things. I mean, it's not rocket science, you guys. You can literally learn now how to cook everything on YouTube.
In this next clip, she explains how she's messed around with the old greenery, indulging in a puff here or there, and how it affects her eating habit. In my opinion, this clip is the fact that she possibly does this to keep positive interactions with her friends and try to fit in, but in doing so, she messes up her diet and eating routine in the process, falling off again and not being able to control what she eats.
Sometimes when, the doll has indulged in, Mary Jane Watson from Spider-Man 2, she's my favorite. I love Mary Jane Watson. When the doll has indulged and had a moment with Miss Mary Jane Watson, honey, she also gets the munchies the house down. And it's actually very scary when I do that because I eat everything everywhere. Like literally, baby, if I, like a termite, I just start boom, boom, boom. I just start eating. Girl, if I could eat wood, I would eat wood, okay? I eat everything. So this is the reason why I am not a smoking girl. I've never myself purchased it and I never will because I already have an overeating disorder. I don't need something that's gonna help me eat more. Sis, I'm already eating the house down. When I tell you, oh my God, this was a while back. And I remember I got the munchies and then I forgot to order snacks, And I don't think I had anything in the house. I remember when I tell you I went through everything I had in the pantry and I cleared it out. I think I don't even know where. I can't remember what I ate, but I went through, girl, if there was cereal, I was eating cereal out the box. Sis, if there was if granola bars, which are they've been in my pantry for 3 years, girl, I pulled the granola bars out, girl, you know me. I never eat the granola bars, honey. I will no longer feel shame for the fact that I fall off and then I have to come back here and I have to talk about how I feel again. Because a lot of the times that's one of the reasons that shame is actually even worse. Because then you start feeling more like a failure, more like you're horrible, more like you're a gutter, terrible person. You feel worse and you feel worse. I just want to say right now to everyone who's watching this video, I know y'all can read the comments. There are people saying you're a broken record. You say this all the time. You come back and you say this all the time. Baby, I'm right here with you. And I am going to speak on this because this shows how difficult it is to overcome an overeating disorder. It's not, this is like, it's a true addiction. You cannot, as many times as you fall down, I'm gonna get back up again and I'm gonna talk about it. And as you guys can try to shame me all you want, you can say, oh girl, here you go again, girl, you're a broken record, girl, we don't believe you, girl. Baby, keep on saying it. I'm not bothered. I'm gonna come right back here and I'm gonna say, you know what? I messed up. I wasn't able to do it. But let me get back. Let me try again.
Let me try again. This is what you're telling your fans. Now, what happens if you fail again? What happens if you come back and give us the same story again? What happens when someone passes you the old greenery again? Are you going to take it? What happens when you let drama get to you? What happens when you let your depression overwhelm your mind and you just give up? What happens when we stop believing in you? I am Chime Philly, but this is your story. Who am I to tell it? Your turn to make a move.
Shout out to Miss Denizen52.